Edwin Rosales has just been deported from the United States. One summer evening, after 35 years in Louisiana, he came home to find ICE agents waiting on his doorstep. Edwin was just 10 years old when he was last in El Salvador. The country now feels foreign to him, and he has no plans to remain in Central America.
I
can't imagine adapting to life here when I've been living in the US for 40 years. I don't have any family here, just an aunt. All my family, my 4 kids and my wife are in the States. And in truth, I don't plan to stay here. I'm going back to try to enter the US again.
As he starts again from square one, Edwin is by no means alone. Migrant aid organisations estimate that more than 50,000 migrants returned to El Salvador last year, most of them having never reached the US. But without solutions to the root causes of migration, unemployment, poverty and violence, the majority start straight back on the migrant trail. Juan Martin is a recruiter for an English-language call centre in El Salvador and says this brain drain on the country's human resources has been frustrating.
Whenever you get deported from the States, you already have a felony because you tried to re-enter to the United States illegally or because you were drinking and driving or whatever, you know what I mean? So that somehow affects your job position here in El Salvador. Let's say, for instance, you have a felony, you're not going to get hired. Most of the guys that come to El Salvador, they live within the first 15 days.
For Cesar Rios, whose migration NGO helps returning migrants reintegrate into society, migration too often becomes a vicious cycle for local families.
Son familias pobres que sacrifican su patrimonio, la casa de ellos, el patrimonio.
The poorest families sacrifice their most valuable possessions, borrowing money against their own house in order to get a little bit of money to pay the human trafficker who takes them. And when they don't make it and they're sent back, they arrive more impoverished than they were, and in many cases, they end up losing everything.
With no clear solutions to the migrant crisis ahead, it's the most marginalised who will continue to be hit the hardest. Alasdair, Baverstock, CGTN, San Salvador.